China and the United States are two integral pillars of the same global economy, supports that are becoming increasingly intertwined. Just as Chinese companies are beginning to test out markets abroad, American companies are looking to take advantage of economic reforms in China. But will these Chinese companies be able to adapt to new markets overseas? And will the reforms in China open up the country enough to satisfy critics who cry protectionism? Today, China Matters speaks with Jiang Jianwei, Director of Sinotrans and CSC, as we discuss the complexities of these two very different markets. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Jiang.
My pleasure.
Now, it is my understanding that your company, Sinotrans, has entered into a joint venture with an American cold chain logistics company, Preferred Freezer Services. How would you explain, or what do you see the differences are between working with an American or foreign company compared to a Chinese company?
Okay, it's a good question. Sinotrans is actually one of the first pioneers to step outside China. And according to our experience, there is no much striking difference between dealing with foreign companies and local companies. To my personal experience, to a certain extent, it would be easier, comparatively speaking, to deal with overseas companies, especially companies from West countries.
Why is that?
Because they are more market-oriented, more international.
Okay.
Yeah. However, most of Chinese companies, we are still in the transitional period from planning economy to market-oriented economy.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. There are some in the U.S. that have criticized or censored the purchase of large American corporations by Chinese companies, the most recent one being Shuanghui, the food processor. What do you think about this criticism? Is it China fear, or is it warranted? These sometimes government spokespeople criticizing China for buying American companies outright.
Well, according to my experience, I don't believe there is any strict ban on Chinese companies to open its business in the United States.
Right.
And or even you acquire companies in the States. According to the law, we are allowed.
Right.
However, for those very sensible field, which maybe people may think about, it's related to national security. I believe there is a ban, or there is or much strict rule on this.
Okay. So.
However, as a logistic player, we don't have such experience.
Right. There's going to be a few big players, non-government, private companies hitting the overseas markets, in particular the American market, in years to come. What advice would you give, like say Xiaomi, moving into the U.S. market where they probably don't have a lot of experience?
First, try very hard to get ourselves accustomed to the United States, the local situation in the United States. It's a different country.
Certainly.
Second, you have to abide by the law, abide by the customs in the United States or in different countries.
Would you say the regulatory system
Yeah.
is more strict in the U.S.?
It's different. United States is a abide by country. Law is a very most important thing you have to abide by. In China, we respect the law. However, in many cases, we are still, how can I put it? Not very much as respectful as those countries like Western European countries or United States or even like New Zealand. Third, we shall try ourselves to be more international, more market oriented. Yeah.
Okay.
Because market is the only dominant power in the business in the States.
Right.
Yeah. Not like China.
No. So do you see greater access for American companies, or not just American, but Western companies in general? Do you see greater access for them in the future, particularly in some industries, sectors that have been heavily protected in the past?
I think, according to my understanding, our country or our central government, with each different local government, always welcome those companies from whatever country that is. So there's no restriction given from our country to those foreign countries. As the open door policy still going on, so there will be greater and more access to those countries or those companies to come into Chinese market, to cooperate with or to open their business in Chinese market. There's no doubt.
Yeah. You see some of the protectionist measures removed by the Chinese government?
I believe so. Yeah.
中石油，然后银行，就是那些比较大的企业。
比亚迪吧，我觉得淘宝吧。
阿里巴巴、
联想呗，还有华为、
小米还有华为吧，就是中国两大名牌。
苹果吧，
香奈儿啊、迪奥啊这些。
苹果还有沃尔玛。
我觉得目前是苹果手机吧，对。
如果说中国制造的，如果出口的话，我相信觉得还是不错的。如果在国家内部的话，山寨版的会比较居多吧。
我们既要去就是把这个制造做好，然后从它的源头解决这个问题。我们把这些产品送到外面，让他们知道我们做东西其实像德国人一样谨慎，同时我们也要把自己的一些创意加进去，就是创新。对。
就是他原先发明出来那个东西，我们保留80%或90%，那有10%的是我自己做出来，就已经算是创新了。其实
我觉得还好吧。
世界各地呗，拿回来都是中国制造。